sounding too good. He's got cystic fibrosis. It's a chronic terminal illness. It's a progressive lung disease.
Well, as a mother, you're used to fixing things for your children, and she's my daughter. And so I can't fix this, but I can be along for the ride.
I packed the trunk and came up, and sure enough, his lung function was down. So they said they were going to have to admit him for at least 2 weeks.
I'll sleep in the car, whatever. I don't care, but my grandkids need to eat. If I don't eat for 3 days, I don't care. No, I'm not broke, but you just aren't prepared for the crisis.
The social worker's like, no, they've got programs for that.
We need to be home. So when they told us about the Ronald McDonald House, we drove up, and that's what I said. It felt like home. It wasn't like we were a visitor. They were so kind.
Cordy was born premature. She was born at 28 weeks. We didn't really have any warning that she was coming that soon. We had her in Ada, and she was metaflighted to OU Medical Center.
Just considering the chaos that we were in, we hadn't even thought about where we were going to stay that night.
So we came over here, and she was in the hospital for 55 days.
Once I saw this place, it took a lot of worries off of where she was going to be and who's going to be taking care of her. I mean, there's always going to be someone around because she still wasn't healed up very well either. So.
And one of the nurses just told us that you could obviously pray for your child, but you could also be here to show her your love. And to me, that's really what a lot of the Ronald McDonald House did, was it allowed me the opportunity to be here for her.
It wasn't long into the pregnancy we found out that there was severe health issues with the baby, and nobody expected him to survive birth.
Well, I live 3 hours away, and when we found out there could be difficulties with him after birth, we decided to look into what options there were for me to stay up here. My son's well-being was very important to me, and I wanted to be here. We had checked into the Ronald McDonald House, and
to know that my daughter was safe every night. I knew my grandson was safe, but to know that she was here safe in this home, I didn't worry about her having to walk somewhere in the middle of the night, find a place to stay. That put a lot of comfort in my heart to know that my daughter was safe, because it wasn't just my grandson up here, it was my daughter.
And I really believe, with as much difficulties as he's had and the things that he went through, that if he didn't have that extra time with me, and me being able to be there for him all the time, the mother's love, everybody keeps saying, that extra touch, but if it hadn't have been for that, I don't think he would have made it. They really didn't expect him to.
Our granddaughter was diagnosed with cancer about 2.5 years ago, and she was up here over the course of the last 2 years for treatment at various times. Most recently in June, we were here with our family for about a week. It was a great blessing at the time. We had a lot of family members here, didn't want to leave the hospital. We were able to utilize the facilities, which was, like I said, a great blessing to the family. When you don't want to leave a loved one and you want to be close, it was just a real comfort for the family to be able to have that and utilize that. She fought a brave fight, and but God had other plans for her.
Dozer had 3 brain surgeries in December of 2009 and January of 2010, and we stayed in the family house during that time. After his surgery was over and he healed, we had to start radiation and chemo. So we stayed in the Ronald McDonald House for 7 weeks. It is the closest thing to home that we could have had. We didn't have to worry about meals. We didn't have to worry about a room. We didn't have to worry about any of that. It was our home away from home. Just everything concerned about the Ronald McDonald House was such a blessing to us.
I feel great. They treated me great, and I'm glad that I've got the chance to meet other people. And I want to thank God for all the people who I've met.
This is a place where families can be together. Families belong together, particularly during difficult times. This is a place where the brothers and sisters of those children seeking medical care can still be children, still have a life growing up. They can play with the toys here, watch a movie here, spend time with their parents, and still have a sense of normalcy in their own lives as well.
If I can do something to make them, smile or laugh, that's awesome.
To all the volunteers, I would say thank you.
I've been fortunate, and I have 3 healthy children, and every time I come up here and see the children or their families, I kind of put myself and think, if I were them, how would I be able to do it? Without places like this, it'd be hard to, so I enjoy contributing to that.
It really makes us feel good to have the opportunity to be able to give back to someone else. I just think that we are fortunate to have the time and the opportunity to give to some other folks that are in need. And Ronald McDonald House is certainly an important cause, a good resource for families in need at difficult times in their life. When children are sick, I think people are in great need at that time. The small thing that we do, just bringing Panera Bread to maybe lift their spirits for a moment, we appreciate the opportunity to do just that.
Being able to help and see the people's faces when you cook dinner, that's just as rewarding as actually having that home. So I think it's a great organization, and I've been really proud to be a part of it.
It really truly felt like when you walked in the door, when someone said, "How are you today?" they really wanted to know, "How are you today?" It wasn't, someone passing in the hallway just wondering, but it was, "How are you? Tell me about your day."
It's a very rewarding job because every day I feel like I've at least made a difference to one person. And that's what makes me love any job that I have.
I've learned to become a great listener with our families. A lot of times that's what they need, is just to be able to talk. You don't have to say anything. They just need to be able to get it on their chest.
Just by that small gesture of someone caring, helping you with something that you didn't anticipate or maybe didn't even ask for. And I think that's a lot of the magic and the power behind the services we provide to our families.
I drive up, it's late, we're hungry, we don't know where we're going to stay. I had no answers. Today, I have the answers, and it's the Ronald McDonald House. So now I can smile about it, because I know that when this happens again, and in this process, what he has, it's a progressive genetic disease. We will probably need to come back, and it's going to make my next journey, my next chapter is going to be, I'm not going to have so many questions, and I know where I will be taken care of.